to develop your skills and profession to suit international standards? Are you ready for global opportunities in scholarships, skills, and services? Will you like to be prepared, packaged, and positioned to export your services and skills overseas? Then, this short diploma certificate course in productivity development is for you. From the Skills Development Council of Canada, it will be coming live on Wealth Link Radio Program, a business school on radio, powered by the Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry, here on ABBC 98.1 FM at Bakaliki. Join us on Tuesday from 5 to 5:30 p.m. and on Thursday from 4:30 to 5 p.m. You can also join the WhatsApp class by sending your full name to 0805-038-8388. Again, 0805-038-8388. 0805-038-8388. Diploma in Productivity Development from the Skills Development Council of Canada is a sure key to open global economic empowerment. Join us. A very good evening, dear listener, and welcome to this week's edition of Wealth Link Radio Program on Salt FM at Bakaliki. My name is Ugochukwu Onwe. We have in the studio the Director General, Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Henry Nduka Awurego, and he is here with his team to tell you all you need to know about Wealth Link Radio Program, the opportunities therein, the sponsors, and what you stand to gain from this. So keep it, listen, and you will benefit maximally. Once again, I am Ugochukwu Onwe. I'm handing over to Henry Nduka Awurego, Director General, Scholars Chambers of Commerce and Industry. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Ugochukwu Onwe, my brother, and Ebonyans, you're welcome to Wealth Link Radio Program for today. We're excited to be on this radio station to empower and to impart knowledge. We were here in the last episode to just introduce the program, and today is a very special one. We are commencing in earnest. Like Ugochukwu have already introduced the program. I will also introduce the sponsors of the program. But first of all, you need to understand that this program is brought to you by the Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry in partnership with the Skills Development Council of Canada. The Scholars Chamber will train, the Skills Development Council of Canada certifies. And here today, we are with our sponsor, the coordinator of our sponsoring group. This program is sponsored by the FON Diaspora Network. That is the network of people who are overseas, both from Ebonyi and outside Ebonyi, who live overseas, who believe in the person of Francis Ogbonna Nwifuru to become the next governor of Ebonyi State. And because of the human capital development agenda of his administration, they said we should, run this program to train Ebonyans, and at the end of the day, at least 100 Ebonyans will be certified by the Skills Development Council of Canada. So the coordinator is here with me, and that's in the person of Mr. Tony Odukwe. Mr. Tony, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Fantastic. So we will kickstart this episode with trying to remind our people that there is a WhatsApp class. That was because we cannot exhaust everything here. Mr. Tony has over 21 years experience working in Portugal, working in Hungary, working in Germany, in Europe generally,
Asia,
and in Asia. And of course, this program is not just to train people to be certified, but we want to train people that will acquire skills that can be exported from here to overseas. And those skills is either they are there in overseas, rendering services, or they are here rendering services via technology. So by the time we begin to roll out the strategies that we are coming with, people will begin to understand. So you can join the WhatsApp class. The WhatsApp class is, as mentioned already, you just send your full name to 080-50-388-388. That's the number that will take you to the WhatsApp class. You don't need to call the number. Just send your name, preferably on WhatsApp, to 08050388388. Again, we are so excited and we are so proud of our principal in the person of Chief Honorable Francis Ogbonna Nwifuru, who we believe that by the grace of God will become the next governor of Ebonyi State. And when that is done, we will be able to take care of the people that would have participated in this program, because by then they would have been certified, and then the skills export, the services export will actually begin in earnest for Ebonyi people. One good thing is that this program, the cost is something that people pay for, $500 for the Skill Development Council of Canada, but 100 persons from Ebonyi will get these certifications free of charge. Now, today we want to continue from where we stopped in the last episode. We started with dropping the 3 P's, the 3 P's that will form the foundation for the course, the foundation for the purpose of the course, and the foundation for the benefits of the course. And those 3 P's, like we said in the last episode, include preparation, packaging, and positioning. But today we're going to take it further. We'll take it further in the sense that we have commenced the course in earnest, and we are happy that we have over 100 persons already enrolled into the WhatsApp class, and more people are joining. So I want to make this statement to lay a foundation. Then I will hand over to our coordinator, Mr. Tony Odukwe. I want to take the piece from 3 to 10 now with this sentence. And it says, proper planning and previous preparation, packaging, and positioning prevents poor performance. I take it again. Proper planning and previous preparation, packaging, and positioning prevents poor performance. You see, I like the statement of one American president. Before he even became the president, he made a statement. He said, I will prepare myself and my time shall come. One of the greatest tragedy of our nation is having people taking up opportunities without preparation. You see it almost in every sector. You see politicians who become politicians without preparation. You see people who take up political appointments, political positions without proper manifesto, without preparation, without training. So that's why we made that statement, that proper planning and previous preparation, packaging, and positioning prevents poor performance. Now, preparation is in 3 D's. D number 1 is discovery. So before you begin to prepare yourself, you must know who you are. You must discover who you are. You must discover your potentials and your powers and your capacity. You must understand what God actually created you to do here on earth. That's preparation. So you must discover yourself. The second D is development. It's part of preparation. You must develop yourself. That's why we go to school. Education is not for employment, really. It's for empowerment. But here we have turned it into employment, and that's why people go to special centers to write WAEC and JAMB. Because they go to school for certificate. But you ought to go to school for skills. So you need to understand these 2 different categories of people. And I want to let you know that the poor go to school to be certified, but the rich go to school to acquire skills. In other words, those who have poverty mentality go to school for employment, but those who have prosperity mentality go to school for empowerment. So that's why it is called development. Development is different from growth. Somebody can be growing without developing. It's just like having a child grow like Iroko tree, but he cannot spell his name or her name. So you need to understand the difference. So growth is different. We may be growing. For example, in Africa, Nigeria is growing. The economy is growing. But are we developing? That's another ball game. So you must discover, you must develop, and then the last D is deploy. That is on preparation. So that's why we say proper planning. Of course, when you fail to plan, you have planned to fail. So before you even prepare, you must plan. I didn't want to take much time on planning. Then you prepare by discovery, by development, and by deployment. Deployment is you now actually going into the marketplace, into the world, to dispense what is inside of you, to manifest who you are. Okay? And then you take it further. When you now begin to dispense, then you now know what the world is looking for. You package yourself towards that direction. Packaging means that you don't have a second chance to make a good first impression. If you are a doctor, you must package as one. If you are a lawyer, you must package as one. If you are a mechanic, you must package as one. We need to change this narrative of Nandi mechanic. We must have packaging. So it's part of what we're teaching, and we will take it further in the WhatsApp class. So you package yourself, or just like products. Just like products. So you need to package yourself to attract people to yourself. That's what we are doing in this class. And then you position yourself. In positioning, there are two types of positioning. We have wrong positioning and right positioning. You may think you have positioned yourself, but you have positioned yourself in the wrong direction. You are selling yourself to the wrong people. You need to position yourself to attract the right people. So you can now see, I believe that people who are listening this evening would have started seeing why a lot of people complain and lament that government is not doing this, they are not doing that. But the question is, are you prepared? Are you packaged? Are you positioned? For example, in the Scholars Chamber of Commerce, we have scholarship. And I'm happy that our sponsor, the FON Diaspora Network, has a lot. By the time Mr. Tony Odukwe begins to share his own light on this subject, then you now know that we have a lot. We have a lot in the area of skills that you can use and become multi-millionaires in this our generation. Okay, so it is not about the economy is bad. It's not about people are not being employed. It is about how prepared, how packaged, and how positioned. So positioning is very important, and it must be taken. You see, somebody can be prepared, but he's not packaged. Okay? So when you are prepared and you're not packaged, you may miss opportunity. Again, I want to say that opportunity does not come but once, like people wrongly say. Opportunity is always available, but the people who are prepared for opportunity are not always available. And that's why somebody can even quarrel with opportunity. Somebody can even fight with opportunity. Somebody can even cause opportunity. Some will even say that opportunity coming is a tout. Opportunity coming. Like we are saying now, Ogbonna Nwifuru is an opportunity for Ebonyi people, because he understands what it means to empower people. He understands what it means for people for a society to develop its human capital. And that's a cardinal point in his mandate, and that's why we are supporting him, and that's why the FON Diaspora Network supporting him. We had to go to Portugal to pull the coordinator. The coordinator has lived in Portugal for years, and here he is today. And here we are spending money to get people that will be certified. The next thing that will happen is when they are certified, we now begin to segregate and say, okay, you should go for scholarship. There are scholarships in Europe. There are scholarships in Canada. There are scholarships in America. All these scholarships, we have to intentionally get Ebonyi people to acquire them. Because when they go out to study, they will also not just study, but have technology transfer, acquire skills, come back here and invest and grow our economy. Okay, so that is why we are doing what we are doing. And we are happy that the Skills Development Council of Canada is not just giving us certificate, they are giving us diploma in whatever we will be able to train you. For here now, we are trying to train everybody on to acquire diploma in productivity development. The reason for productivity is because in every field, you need to be productive. As a lawyer, you need to be productive. As a doctor, you need to be productive. As a cleaner, you need to be productive. So by the time we certify you productive by the Skills Development Council of Canada, then when you tell us whatever you can do, we brush it up with more training and bring in the imperatives of globalization so that we'll be able to work outside this country not just work for people outside this country. You should be able to think home. Not Japa. Japa is different from what we're talking about. Japa is you relocating, migrating. But here we are using what we call GLOSEP. GLOSEP means Global Skills and Services Export Program. And so, talking about skills, I will hand over to Mr. Tony Odukwe to break it down on how these skills can take our people to the next level. Mr. Tony, please.
Thank you very much, DG Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry. You've done justice to the topic, and I really appreciate you for that. Now, I want to make it clear that His Excellency Dr. Nweze Umahi, Engineer David Nweze Umahi, has done a great job with infrastructure in the state, right? If you drive into Abakaliki today or anytime, you'll see the level of infrastructural development that has gone on, and we appreciate that. But then the incoming administration is going to take it a notch further to bridge the gap between this infrastructure and human development, not just in the area of skills, but wealth creation, right? So you find out that on the Human Development Index, Nigeria is ranking very low at the bottom of the totem pole. There are about 200 and something countries on that index, and Nigeria is ranking at about 180 something. And so that is very bad news. With the thousands of universities we have in Nigeria, we're still not able to produce credible professionals who have skills to be able to give solutions to different problems in the society. And so the incoming government is going to attack that head on. And so part of how we're going to do that is to give technical support in the areas of human development and trainings, right? People don't know this. The Bible says that my people perish for a lack of knowledge, right? The people of Ebonyi State can be wealthier than they are today, right? In Ebonyi State today, I don't know how many millionaires we have or how many billionaires we have, but with the agenda of the incoming administration, we're going to change that through giving credible skills, financially viable tech skills that can enable you to sit at home in your room, on a computer and make as much as $1,500 to $3,000 to $5,000 a month. It's a possibility. Young people are already doing this in Lagos, right? These young people are also Nigerians. So if they can do it in Lagos and they can do it in Abuja, why can't they do it in Ebonyi State? It's simply because of a lack of knowledge. So most Nigerians go to school to acquire a certificate, like BG said, and that's the problem. People chase certificates and not the skills that make you a professional in your chosen field. We are about to change that, right? It's no more about going to school to own a certificate. It's about going to school or going through an educational process to acquire a skill that's going to make you wealthy. So some of the skills that we're talking about are skills like in the area of data analysis, cybersecurity, call center management, video editing, audio editing, videography, audiography, graphic designing, exports, both service and commodity exporting. So these are some of the skills. There are so many of them that if we empower you with these skills, what's going to happen is that you're going to find that you're going to start making a lot of money, okay? And when you start making money, you pay back taxes, right? So there's something that's happening, there's a dynamics that's happening in the Nigerian economy right now. Nigerian economy is suffering because of inflation and because of the dwindling effect of low income, right? So what happens is that when the citizens of any country do not earn enough income, they do not spend enough money. And so if they don't spend enough money, the businesses in these countries begin to suffer even to the point of dying. We want to change that by empowering you, the citizens, to have skills that will earn you a lot of money. And so when you start earning enough money, it activates a multiplier effect where you will have a spending power. And so you will begin to spend a lot. A lot of commodities are quickly going into the luxury list, right? Cooking gas has gone into the luxury list. Bread has gone into the luxury list. Even yam has gone into the luxury list. A lot of middle class families cannot afford to buy bread, and this is because of the dwindling income in the average family in Ebonyi State. We want to change that by simply giving you these tech skills. And once you have these tech skills, there are three categories of people who can subscribe to these skills. One, people who will live in Nigeria and earn dollars and euro. These people are not interested in traveling overseas. We will give them the skills. They will sit at home here in Ebonyi State and earn dollars, right? Now, 2, there's another category of people who are interested in Japa, even though we are saying the Japa syndrome is not the solution. But there are people who are still hell-bent on traveling. There's a benefit coming from that class of people. They're going to, remit, how do you call it, funds from overseas. And so that's what we call diaspora remittances, right? These are the people who send Western Union and MoneyGram to their families. So we will give them skills here so that when they travel overseas, they will not be roaming the streets looking for people to dupe. They will have skills that will help them, gain, employment, credible employment, and remit money to their families in Nigeria, thereby helping to grow the Nigerian GDP. Now, the other people who can also, subscribe to these skills are people who have degrees already, but have found that these degrees are not useful to them because they can't get jobs. We will restructure them by giving them credible skills and helping them find jobs in Nigeria, and still help to grow the Nigerian economy. So really, with this incoming administration, things are going to be different in Ebonyi State. We have seen the work of the incumbent, we've seen the work of the present government in terms of infrastructure. But while I was driving here, I saw the, the mall. And I know that these malls are not cheap, right? If the citizens of Ebonyi State do not make enough money, they cannot rent those malls, and then those malls will continue to be like a ghost town. So what we want to do is give you the ability to make enough money so that the infrastructure that government has put in place will be useful to you. You will be able to rent them and use them. You'll be able to buy good cars to ride on these beautiful roads that the governor has constructed. So we want to bridge the gap, between the very wealthy and the very poor. We want to create a viable middle class economy in Abakaliki, and the only way we can do that is to give you these tech skills. It's not just tech skills, there are entrepreneurial skills as well, in the area of business. We will teach you how to take commodities from Nigeria. Abakaliki is blessed with solid minerals. A lot of you who are listening to me right now have no reason to be poor. You have absolutely no reason to be poor. In this state, you have precious stones that a truckload is selling in the international market for 45 million naira. And so if you knew this and you had the skills to export, what you will simply do is source these commodities and find international buyers and begin to export. You will create wealth for your family, create wealth for the state, and help grow the Nigerian GDP. This is what the incoming administration is going to do for Ebonians. And Ebonians are going to rise from the bottom of the totem pole to the highest level of the wealth index in Nigeria. Because if you look at the multidimensional index, multidimensional poverty index, Ebonyi is really down there, and it shouldn't be. With the kinds of solid minerals Ebonyi has, Ebonyi should be earning much more than River State from natural resources. But it's just that people don't know how to make these things happen. And so we'll be teaching you how to trade internationally in commodities and services, and that way pulling the people of Ebonyi out of poverty. And thanks to the incoming His Excellency Ogbonna Nwifuru, we're going to be working together. We're going to be consulting with his administration to make sure that the Ebonyi people are liberated economically. And that's the good news that we have brought you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tony Odukwe. I know you have a lot to offer, and that's why the incoming governor of Ebonyi State, Francis, are coordinating the FON Diaspora Network. Now, we are also very grateful to you for, accepting to pay for 100 Ebonians that will follow us from now till the end of January. Because by the end of January, the Skills Development Council of Canada will be ready to certify Ebonians. And after that, we begin to take people into each of the skills you have mentioned. I'm also glad that you are already doing this in Enugu.
Yes.
And I'm very happy that people are already, and people are paying heavily. Ebonians may not even know what is coming to their doorstep free of charge.
That's right.
Because this is what people pay, $500. That is close to about 350,000 naira to get the Skill Development Council of Canada alone.
That's right.
And of course, in our own contribution, we're also going to enroll anyone that is certified by the Skill Development Council of Canada, into the Scholars Chamber of Commerce as member. Of course, you know what it costs people to register as members of the Scholars Chamber of Commerce. All of that we're doing for Ebonians, because this is our state. We don't have any other state. So whatever whatever money we're making in other states, we are trying to see a way of giving to our people free of charge.
Yes.
Now, okay, you have something.
Yes, I also want to elaborate a little bit to simulate, the possibilities. You see, when you're talking to somebody who don't know where his next meal is coming from, their purview is very limited. They're very short-sighted, and so they don't really think that these things are possible. Now, part of what this incoming administration is going to be doing is giving people one of the skills that people are going to be trained in is, call center management. What this means is that we're going to train many young people on how to, work in call centers. And so once they have these skills, we're going to collaborate with different chambers and city governments around the world, in Europe, in America, in Canada, in Australia, and we're going to let them know that our young people have been trained in these skills, and then we're going to work with them to bring in outsourcing contracts. And so what this means is that companies overseas can now begin to outsource their call center services to these young people that we have trained.
Fantastic.
Right? And what this means is that on a monthly basis, these companies will pay a huge amount of money to us for the services that these young people will be rendering, and they will be paid in hard currency as well, through this call center. So these are some of the possibilities, and I really wanted to emphasize on this so that people can understand what is going to happen once the incoming comes into office.
Thank you very much. Ebonians, I'm sure you are listening, and at this juncture we're going to drop our numbers again. You don't need to call the numbers. All you need to do, if you are interested in being certified by the Skills Development Council of Canada, you just send your name to 08050388388. You can as well send it directly to the center coordinator for Ebonyi State University Scholars Center for Commerce and Industry. I'm going to call his number right away, and it's 08037407434. I take it again, 08037407434. We are very grateful to Francis Ogbonna Nwifuru Diaspora Network, and of course the incoming governor himself, for buying into this project. And I think this is for the good of Ebonyi people. And we believe that 30 minutes will not be enough and can never be enough to download all we have. So what we are doing is to allow you to join the WhatsApp class. The WhatsApp class is highly secured, is locked, it's only the admins that post there. So once you send your name, you'll be added to that WhatsApp class, and all the course materials will be shared on that WhatsApp class. And of course, you will understand the power of technology. By next episode, we will take it up further, and probably we'll be giving you the 12 T's that will enable you to bridge the gap between learning and earning. Till then, I remain your own, Henry Ndoka Awurego, and with me is Mr. Tony Odukwe. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Henry Ndoka Awurego, Director General, Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and your colleague, Tony Odukwe, Coordinator, FON Diaspora Network. Thank you for coming. You can see Wealth Link radio program is expository, informative, and educating. Avail yourself of this opportunity by joining the program every Tuesday from 5 p.m. and Thursday from 4:30 p.m. Join Wealth Link again next week, Tuesday, from 5 p.m. for another interesting edition. My name is Ugochukwu Ome. God bless you.